Hello, it's Matt from Guitar Nerds in association with Boss. We are here at ArcTanGent Festival in Bristol. The sun's just come out. I'm here with Mark from Mannheim, and yes, we are talking pedal boards, we're talking guitars, and you guys have literally just come off stage. Just finished. How was it?
It was good. It was good.
Yeah? First time playing at the
First time playing ArcTanGent.
Cool.
Oh, I should.
It's alright, you can move it slightly closer. We're still picking up. Don't worry. Okay. I'm sure you're just relaxing into it. Just I appreciate straight off stage, pack everything up, and it's
everything
pretty wet and windy.
It's a little bit of a mess. Yeah, it's been raining the whole time.
You said there wasn't much to your pedal board, but there was a story behind it. So do you want to kind of give us a rundown of sort of what you're doing, how you're doing it live?
Yeah. Well, we just finished our second album.
Okay.
And our first album is a lot of math rocky stuff.
Okay.
And a lot of jumpy stuff.
And
we kind of wanted to move away from that and just create one bass sound that we will use on the whole album.
Okay.
And that has kind of been a journey to look for that, because we also have a saxophone player in the band. He's
behind camera.
Yeah, and we also wanted to make him sound a little bit less like a standard saxophone.
Okay.
So he kind of has like a synthesizer sound going on almost.
Okay.
And I wanted to blend right in to that, so it really becomes a huge wall of sound. So that's actually what this whole setup is. It doesn't do much. I don't use it even that much. It's all on the whole time.
Okay.
I switch a few times during the set.
Okay,
that's all.
cool. So I mean, you've got an orange foot switch. So what? Are you using an orange amp?
I do.
Okay. What are you using at the moment?
I'm using Thunderbird 200s.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. And you're just using that for clean and drive, I'm assuming.
Yeah, just for clean and drive, and that's the switch. Yeah.
Cool. And then so everything else is on all the time. So any particular reason you went for those sort of pedals? Is there? Was it the POG? Did you know you want to kind of go octave, or was it something that sort of developed?
I knew
naturally?
I kind of wanted to go octave. On our first album, I actually used the lower octave a lot. It was very heavy.
Okay.
And now on the second album, it's mainly settings that have the first octave, a lot of first octave and a little bit of second octave, and then it's on all the time and combined with a lot of gain.
Yeah.
And the Memory Man, which is always on, it goes in a loop.
Okay.
And it creates a bass sound that just blends in very well with the saxophone.
Yeah. So I mean, did that all come out of like rehearsals, or was it something that came out in the studio?
It came out of taking a step back from what we were doing.
Yeah.
I think we wrote 5 or 6 songs for the second album, and it was all not quite there.
Okay.
And it was kind of like a progression from our first album, so more weirdness and more craziness.
Yeah.
And
does your pedal board need to change much for anything that you do from like an older record?
No, now it is kind of steady. I think when we are going to tour for this record, I think it's going to be this, and then that's it.
Cool.
I mean, probably for the next record it's going to be totally different. But
that's the thing. We've done like loads of these today, and like loads of people have got loads of different pedal boards, and it's surprising because most people think of kind of like math rock or festivals like this where people have got massive pedal boards.
Yeah, that's what I expected. Yeah.
Most people have kind of got something a little bit more stripped back. So I suppose you learn to use your gear to the most of its capabilities, and you kind of discover everything that's in that, and you make it work for the sound that you need it for as well.
Yeah.
So alongside that, you've got your telly as well. So do you want to give us a little bit of a rundown of kind of what you're using?
This is a standard Fender Telecaster and Mexican edition.
Okay.
So and it's still the same as it was when I bought it. So it's
cool.
It's with all the standard.
So I mean, if you want to grab it just so we can have a better look at it there.
Of course, yeah.
So I mean, did you kind of try a load of different guitars out? Had you had that for a long time?
I do have a bunch of guitars. But I noticed that trying to find the right combination with your pedals and your guitar and with your hardware, and the fact that you're always going through a PA system and the wind is blowing from the left.
Yeah, it's funny, really, isn't it?
And so eventually, I'm not too picky when it comes to when it sounds good.
Yeah.
Then I think you already found something because a lot of stuff doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like you can spend so much time in a rehearsal room under like a controlled environment where everything is perfect.
Yeah.
But when you're playing festivals like this and you're constantly changing over. You've got like 5-10 minutes or whatever.
Exactly.
You kind of just need to plug in, and you need to have that sound, and your sound needs to be there.
Yeah. I would be way too stressed if I had to do something, you know. So that's what I'm going for. Of course, in the studio, we try everything out.
Yeah. Is there anything you're kind of using in the studio that you'd like to kind of use live, or?
In the studio, I use the Verbzilla.
Okay.
You can't get those anymore.
Yeah.
The one that I use, but
the old Line 6 one, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. The real old one. Like, I think
it's funny actually. A lot of people I've seen in kind of similar bands are going for those old digital reverbs because the algorithm's a little bit older. They kind of don't sound. Right. The more modern ones sound almost too natural, where the older ones kind of have that almost sort of like digital sort of quality to them as well. So they kind of work for a load of different things as well.
No, it's not that kind of thought process. I think it was very extreme. It was more extreme than this.
Okay.
And that's the reason, because now I like it when my guitar barely sounds like a guitar anymore. Like it just. I mean, yeah, it's hard to explain. I think it's because there are so many guitars band, and there are so many rules when it comes to playing guitar and what you should do and what you should use, and down to the level of
cables and cables, power supply. Exactly.
It feels a little bit.
It can feel. I certainly know from a lot of bands that we've interviewed countless times where like people are like, I don't really like approaching your guitar sound to try and make it sound as different as possible, and it can almost feel a bit weird because you're like, I'm using, some people are like, I'm not using my guitar how it should be, or it doesn't sound like guitar, and people kind of see that as a negative thing, but that's starting to move where guitar is more like the controller, and then the rest of everything else is So I mean, so you're taking this on tour now, so you're kind of out on tour?
Yes, well, we're not out on tour right now. We did a few shows. We didn't do that many shows this year because we were working on the album. We recorded our album in February this year.
Okay.
And we did a few shows to try out.
Yeah.
No full tours yet. Probably next year.
Cool. So where can people kind of find you online? Where can people see this kind of guitar sound in action?
Well, they kind of have to wait until the record is out. The record's probably gonna come out next year, March, April, around that time.
Okay.
And to see us live, I don't think we're gonna be in the UK this year anymore. So.
Oh. Well, maybe people have to come back, or people have to travel. I mean, I've seen a lot of people come from far and wide for this festival. So.
Oh yeah. I can totally imagine.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really cool. You can still, of course, hear our previous album.
Cool.
That's still online. You can find us online at Facebook. Just type in MNHM.
Yeah.
And then you'll definitely find us.
Awesome. So there we have it. Another interview from ArcTanGent. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe to Guitar Nerds for more videos from ArcTanGent coming soon.